Welcome to this explainer. Today, we are completely demystifying the AliExpress Dropshipping Center and handing you the ultimate cheat code for data-driven product research. Look, if you've been grinding away in e-commerce, you already know that finding the right product is literally everything. But doing it efficiently, well, that's a whole different ballgame. In this explainer, we're going to dive deep into how you can leverage actual hard platform data to stop hoping and start knowing for sure.
Anyone who's spent even a couple of months sourcing products knows the deep, absolute frustration of guessing. You know the drill, right? You stumble upon a product that looks kind of promising, you order a sample, throw a listing up on your store, and then you just sit there, waiting to see if buyers actually want the thing. Let's be honest, crossing your fingers like that, it's just gambling. But today, we have a definitive, bulletproof solution to eliminate that guesswork entirely.
So here is our roadmap for today. 1. The end of guesswork. 2. Unlocking the hidden center. 3. Finding winning dropship products. 4. Analyzing data and vetting suppliers. 5. Automatic discounts and rewards. And finally, 6. Building habits and automating success. Let's get right into it.
Section 1. The end of guesswork.
A lot of sellers are out there relying on these super expensive third-party tools that honestly essentially just scrape public data and guess at sales volumes. Or even worse, they're making decisions based on random screenshots from Facebook groups or outdated tutorials. But the AliExpress Dropshipping Center, it acts as a direct pipeline to AliExpress's very own internal order and logistics database. Think about it for a second. Every single order a dropshipper places is an order AliExpress has to fulfill. Because they have a direct commercial interest in your success, they're handing you the raw, inside numbers. They aren't trying to reconstruct sales data from the outside looking in, they already have it.
Moving right along to Section 2, Unlocking the Hidden Center.
Now, you might be poking around your account wondering where this is. You won't actually find this hiding in your default menu, you have to activate it manually. But don't worry, the process is an absolute breeze if you just follow these steps. Log in, go directly to ds.aliexpress.com, accept the standard terms, and plug in your full legal name. Seriously, bookmarking ds.aliexpress.com is the absolute best shortcut you can make today to avoid endless menu digging later on. It creates a highly reliable, quick entry point for your daily workflow.
All right, Section 3, Finding Winning Dropship Products.
Once you're inside, you have this incredibly powerful set of filters right at your fingertips. You can instantly search for hot-selling items and even match a supplier's warehouse location directly to where your customers actually live. But the real standout here? The choice filter. Filtering by choice is just a fantastic way to secure free shipping on low order thresholds and guarantee faster delivery, simply because those items move through AliExpress's own logistics network. Also, if a reliable supplier suddenly goes out of stock, the search by image feature is an absolute lifesaver for quickly finding visually similar listings. And whatever you do, definitely do not ignore sponsored products. Browsing that section shows you exactly what suppliers themselves are betting their own money on. I mean, if they're paying for visibility, they already have the data showing that the product converts well.
Okay, pay close attention to this, because here is a critical distinction that so many sellers miss: the difference between regular orders and DS orders, which stands for dropshipping orders. A product might have thousands of regular orders, right? But that just means everyday retail shoppers are buying one unit for themselves. It absolutely does not mean the item has enough margin to be a good dropshipping product. DS orders, on the other hand, perfectly isolates purchases made specifically by other dropshippers. That right there is your golden signal. A steadily growing DS order count tells you that an item is actually profitable to resell and that other stores out there are quietly having real success with it.
Let's jump to Section 4, Analyzing data and vetting suppliers.
You can paste the URL of literally any listing into the product analysis tool, and it's going to return a sales volume index. Now, misreading this index is probably the most common beginner mistake I see. It is a 0 to 100 scale, but listen, a score of 80 does not mean they sold 80 units today. It works just like Google Trends. It's a relative popularity score. You are explicitly looking for relative growth momentum, not some exact number of sales. So a modest score that's climbing steadily, that's often a much better bet than a totally saturated bestseller with a high score that has already flatlined.
The tool hooks you up with 3 essential charts, and you really must read them side by side. First up, you have your sales volume chart, where you're verifying those upward trends we just talked about. Next, you have a price history chart. Why does that matter? Well, because a sudden price jump right before you start sourcing can completely wipe out your profit margins. Nobody wants that. Finally, you've got the logistics reliability score. A product might have a fantastic sales trend, but if the supplier is constantly shipping late or racking up massive dispute rates, guess what? That risk lands squarely on your store's reviews, not theirs. So always read all three metrics together.
Section 5. Automatic discounts and rewards. Let's talk about the money.
AliExpress actually wants you to succeed, so they offer a dedicated discount system just for us. But you gotta forget about those standard silver or gold member reward points. Those are for the regular retail buyers. The Dropshipping Center program tracks your dropshipping spend automatically based purely on a trailing 90-day period. This means it happens entirely behind the scenes, applying directly at checkout without you ever needing to remember to punch in a promotional coupon code. Doing this automatically drastically reduces your daily operational friction.
And just look at how your baseline margins improve as you scale. You start out at normal with no discount, but as soon as you hit just $1,000 in spend over that trailing 90 days, boom, you move to C-level for 2% discount. Hit $2,000, it's 4%, and at $5,000 you hit A-level for a solid 6% discount. Keep in mind, these percentages are just the minimum floor. Individual sellers on AliExpress can actually choose to offer you even higher discounts on top of this if they really want your business.
All right, home stretch. Section 6. Building habits and automating success.
So data is incredibly powerful. But you know what? It still requires smart human judgment to build a truly professional workflow. First off, don't just use the price filter to blindly chase the cheapest listing. The lowest price almost always means the lowest quality. Second, read the recent buyer reviews. Those super polished photos won't tell you if the item breaks in 2 weeks. Third, send the supplier a slightly urgent question to test how fast they respond. You need to know that before you're relying on them to handle a customer complaint. Fourth, cross-check the demand externally using tools like Google Trends just to make sure the interest isn't totally isolated to AliExpress. And lastly, you absolutely must account for recent real-world changes. For example, the suspension of the US de minimis exemption means those low-value shipments from China that used to clear customs duty-free, they might not anymore. You have to actively recalculate your landed costs, not just look at the raw supplier price.
And just a quick reality check here, the Dropshipping Center is strictly the research half of your business. It tells you exactly what to sell and who to buy it from, but it is not going to place the orders for you, it won't sync tracking numbers across your sales channels, and it won't magically adjust your pricing when a supplier changes their rates. Because this internal tool won't do the heavy lifting of actual fulfillment, pairing it with a dedicated automation platform like DSers, AutoDS, or eNsync is absolutely essential if you want to scale past just a few manual orders a day.
We have covered a massive amount of ground today. You now have the full insider's playbook. You know exactly how to bypass the guesswork, unlock the internal logistics data, isolate those highly profitable DS orders, and properly vet suppliers before they ever touch your brand's hard-earned reputation. You've got direct access to the most powerful, truth-telling dropshipping data available on the market today. So really, the only question left to ask yourself is this. Now that you no longer have to guess what buyers want, what kind of empire are you going to build? Stop guessing, start scaling, and I'll see you in the next explainer.